Hi Philip and everyone else at the Defranco book club. I'm Elliot the Purple-Haired Doofus. I thought I would join your book club and read Sleeping Beauties by Stephen King and Owen King. If you're looking for a glowing review, someone who is going to say, this book was amazing and I recommend it to all of my friends, you can stop now. I'm saving you the 5 minutes. Just click away, because that is not what you're going to get with me, especially not with this book. I'm sorry. Now let's dive into my thoughts. And since there are so few, I will start with the good, which is awkward because the very first good that I have is that this has a satisfying ending, which is rare for a Stephen King book. Stephen King is kind of known for letting his readers down with his endings. Dark Tower! Sorry. I loved the final section that was just like a recap of what happened to all of the characters. Even though not all of those endings were happy, all of those endings were satisfying. There wasn't a lot left hanging in this book, so I like that. I also like that throughout this book we got classic King description. In his earlier books, he would describe something in a very visceral detail. It made you go, ew. But that kind of leads us into the bad. Because I've read so much of him, I was able to say that most of this is stuff that he has done before. Evie is just a mashup from John Coffey from The Green Mile and Legion from Storm of the Century. Locations, there's a prison, Green Mile, Shawshank Redemption, there's a small town. Basically every book that he's ever written, it's all kind of been done before. And Stephen King has written so much that I can't really blame him for that, but at the same time, I just kind of want more. And then there's also the sexual assault scene. He's got one in almost every book, and they're always usually early. Like he's trying to weed out the weak by putting a very graphic, visceral sexual assault scene in it. At least this one wasn't as bad as ones that I've read before, but still this one was just kind of like, I need a break. I feel gross. Also, on the account of unoriginality, allow me to put on my tinfoil hat for you and go a little Charlie Day. Okay? Here we have Sleeping Beauties by Stephen King and his son Owen King, at least published in 2017. You have women who are infected by an illness that causes them to become bloodthirsty killers. Alright? Here you have The Blondes by Emily Schultz, published in 2012, where blonde women everywhere are infected by a rabies-like virus that causes them to become bloodthirsty killers. Alright? I know what you're thinking. Lateral ideas. You know, people come up with the same idea all the time. But on the front cover, there's a little blurb. Emily Schultz is my new hero. Would you like to know who is credited as saying that? It's Stephen King. The idea of him saying, that was fantastic, I should do something like that, isn't really beyond the scope of my imagination. Especially with the time gap. I just felt so dirty knowing that. Also, and I don't know if you really want to get into this or not, but like the formatting of the book was really to me, because like the first half was so disjointed. It felt like we were just getting a little snippet of someone's story at a time. And it was like a little snippet here and then jump to someone else and a little snippet there. And it didn't really feel connected until it was like the second half of the book where it was like definitely one side is one world and the other side is another world. And I was like, okay, I can easily do this back and forth. But then, the second half of the book just took that message of men are evil bastards and just beats you over the head with it. I get it. I get what you're saying, but I don't need to have it forced into my face for 350 pages. Please move on and tell me a story. I can't say that I like this book. Going to have to give it a thumbs down. Giant thumbs down. No! I wish I had liked it more. And I'm worried about myself because I'm starting to like hate almost everything that I read. So I'm worried that maybe like it's just me. And I'm hoping that by the time that I get to see your video where you recap everyone else's reaction, a lot of other people are like me who was just kind of like, that was crap. Because that was crap. I've been Elliot the Purple-Haired Doofus. This has been Buddy Reads, reminding you to watch your pajama radius. And I hope to see you in next month's Philip Defranco Book Club. Toodles!